Hello everyone, I'm your hostess with the mostest, 8-Second Gaming, and in today's video we are going to be talking about 5 things that I wish I knew sooner in Diablo. There's so much in this game, it does not surprise me that people are lost because, to be honest guys, I'm a little lost as well. But hopefully by the end of this video you guys will be a little bit more clear about some certain things. So let's jump right into number 1, don't hoard legendary items. Now I know what everybody's thinking, well why wouldn't I want to keep my legendary items? They have really good aspects on them that I might want to use later on in the game. And while that is true for some of them, it is not true for every single one. Some of the aspects in the game can roll extremely well, I'm not going to try and argue that, but some of them can roll extremely poorly. So you always want to check to see if your aspects have rolled high or if they have not, because it might just be better to scrap them. You are going to need the crafted materials from scrapping other legendary items in the late game, so it is best to start in kind of earlier stages if you can. Now in order to check and see if your aspect is either a high or a low roll is super easy. All you have to do is go into your settings, go to the gameplay tab, and then you want to turn on both of the compare and information tooltips. These are not on by default, but honestly they should be because they are super helpful. But now with these on, every time you scroll over an item, you will be able to see how well that item rolled. It will show you both the minimum and the maximum that it can roll, and then you can kind of compare what yours did. So if you got a high roll, keep it. But if you got a low roll, you probably should just scrap it, because the dungeons in the game do give you the lowest rolled aspects. So if you find one that isn't super high, it is better to just get crafting materials from it. Now, if it is one that is really good in your build or is something that you need, don't scrap it. This is just a general rule of thumb. But remember, you can always find better later on, so you might just want to use the dungeon one and get the crafting materials. But just quickly, if you guys are no life in Diablo like us, then you definitely are going to want to smash that like and subscribe button to stay up to date with all of our brand new videos coming out. We are going to be pumping out a ton of highly educational content and you don't want to miss it. But with that out of the way, let's move into number 2, don't skip world events. Now, when I was first running around, I would always see these world events, the ones that are dropping the obols, popping up very frequently. And part of me did want to goldfish and turn around and join those events, but the other part of me kept on track to finish my campaign and other side quests. But now I really do regret not doing them, because the gamba aspect that comes in with them can really fast track your gear and keep you above the power curve. There are 3 really hard items to find in the game that work well for your build. That is the amulets, the rings, and sometimes boots. Now I say sometimes boots because some people just go for the stats on them, but other times people are going to want to have the right roll on boots. Like, you want really good movement speed on boots, but sometimes you can't find them. Some people are okay with not having the movement speed. I like to go fast, I want movement speed. So that's why I say sometimes boots. But when you go to the purveyor of curiosities and just roll with these obols, all it takes is that one lucky hit, and you can potentially use that for the rest of the campaign or even further past that. I know some people that have hit a really strong ring and that carried them through the entire campaign and even into World Tier 3. So it is best to actually just do these world events because they can really help you out in the long run. I know it can be sometimes annoying to go off track, but it's more if it's just right there, if you're going by it anyway, join in. It takes a couple of minutes and it can really help you out. But now let's move into thing number 3, and this is don't play what you think is strong, play what you enjoy. Now this is actually something that happened to my brother. We were playing together and he played a sorcerer because he wanted to have that really strong powerhouse character. And he heard that sorcerers were overpowered. He saw some gameplay from people like Zizaran who were playing sorcerers and were doing really well with them. And he thought that he would play one because if we got into some group play, it would really help us out because I'm playing a rogue, so we have a ton of damage. He would be the sorcerer, so we have a ton of CC. They would wombo combo, it would be really good. But after he started playing a little bit of the campaign and was kind of getting into it, he did not like the playstyle at all and was struggling to level. So instead of forcing himself to continue on the sorcerer, he just straight up swapped characters. He rolled a new one and he's now playing a necromancer and he's loving it a lot more. Now, I am aware that the necromancer is also a very strong build, but it's more along these lines to just show you an example of don't force yourself to play something just because other people tell you it's good. Remember, this is your game, and the only way to play a game wrong is to not have fun while doing it. And even if you don't hit maximum efficiency because you're not min-maxing the strongest build out there and you're not running the strongest dungeons because your character can't do them yet, it doesn't matter because you're still playing the game, you're still having fun, you're still enjoying yourself, and in the long run, you're going to play more and actually end up getting stuff because you're not having a bad time while playing it. If you force yourself to play a build that you don't find fun, you are probably going to quit a lot faster than other people and lose out on a ton of experiences. So look around a little bit, watch some streamers, watch some of our other content, and just see what you think you would enjoy and then try playing it. But now let's move into number 4, and this is fast tracking aspects. Now, the aspects that you can get through the game are hugely helpful in making builds stronger and making your life a lot easier. And while I was leveling up, my mindset was always that I would come across the dungeon that has the aspect naturally, and there was really no point in going out of my way to get that specific one done. But do not make the same mistake that I did, because the scaling in the game makes it so you can go anywhere at any point in time and get the dungeon done. That gives you a huge power spike in your build and makes your leveling process a lot smoother, a lot more enjoyable, and just a lot easier. Like I said, I'm playing a rogue, so when I got the aspect that makes the blades spin around you after they return, made my life so much easier because I was able to just power down bosses. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you should drop everything immediately and go right this second to the dungeon that gives you the specific aspect for your build, but sometimes it is best to keep this in the back of your mind, so if you do feel like you're starting to lose a little bit of power, or maybe you'd like to have just a little bit more on your side, then you can go to the dungeon and get the aspect for your build. And I'm going to help you guys out a little bit more with this secret bonus tip. If you go into your Codex of Power tab and then scroll through the aspects till you find the one that you need for your build, you can then left click it and the game will pin it to your map and give you an exact map route to get to that dungeon. So you know exactly where you need to go, even if that part of the map is not revealed. So you do not need to go searching around through Google to try and find a map world view, because trust me, I tried that, they're not that useful. But the game just gives you a fast track anyway, and I so wish that I knew this earlier because it made my life hell trying to find some specific dungeons. But again, these aspects super helpful, so just get them done whenever you need that power spike. But now let's move into thing number 5, and this is Butcher means loot. Now, for those of you that don't know, there is a random chance to get Butcher in any dungeon or any cellar in the game. He does spawn randomly. Now, this chance is all over the place because I've seen people that get him all the time. They see him a couple times a day, and I also see people that have never seen him before. But if you go into a dungeon or a cellar or anything like that and you hear chains rattling and like big bassy footsteps, the Butcher is there and he is coming for you. And this means you have to do whatever you can to kill this man because he drops a ton of stacked loot. I think it's something along the lines of like he drops a legendary every single time you kill him, and legendaries do be stonk. Now, I am going to warn you guys, he can be tough. I know some people have had issues with him, and even hardcore players just leave if they see him. They do not want to deal with him because he can do some real damage. But if you're a softcore player like me, just take the chance because it's not really a hindrance if you don't complete him. Yeah, your gear is going to lose a little bit of durability, but you're probably replacing in the next 5 minutes anyway, so who cares? And another warning is if you do die or leave the area, he will despawn. So it is a one-shot chance to take him down. So if you are a little bit scared or you don't know what to do, just take it slow. Run him around a little bit, use your movement, use some ranged attacks if you have to, if you got them. Just do what you can to not die and take it a little bit slower because the loot that you get is pretty worth it. But let me know something you wish you knew sooner in the comments down below to help everybody else out. And if you guys want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest Diablo 4 tips, tricks, and news, don't forget to smash the like and subscribe button. Thanks all for watching. Once again, amazing game, and I'll see you guys on the next one.